What's going on, y'all? This your boy Tony Black, voice of the block. Right now, you tuned into Ghetto Gossip Live, man. Y'all make sure that y'all tap that like button. Make sure that y'all get me up to 100 likes right now. Tap that like button. We got something serious to talk about, y'all. Serious conversation, bro. Serious, bro. Y'all remember Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf, two high school students who had a disagreement. Seemed like one of them wanted one of them to move and didn't want them in that area. Y'all remember that? Happened about a year ago. Y'all remember? If y'all remember, I spoke on this. A lot of people seen it. A lot of people tuned in. A lot of people had a lot of things to say about the situation. And a lot of people thought that I was being, taking it one way. But I wasn't never taking that as one way, you know. I say if it was self-defense, the dude had a right to defend himself. If it wasn't self-defense, he don't have a right to defend himself. The dude clearly, Metcalf, the white guy, obviously not living no more, didn't have no type of weapon in his hand. Now he was a bigger than, Carmelo, in size, maybe probably rougher than him, you know, been through more fights than him, got slapped upside his head more times than him, like Bart Simpson did, in the beginning of the, show. Um, it was him and his brother, you know, there. Nobody else was around. It was people, far off away. Y'all get what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all tap that like button. Let me know what y'all thinking so far in the comment section. Uh, it was people far away. They had cameras out there, right? But the cameras, it was blurry because I guess it was raining. So, it wasn't a clear vision of what actually happened. We don't know if, you know, Matt Cath was bullying, you know what I'm saying? And we don't know if he was bullying, Carmelo. We don't know that at all. We don't know what happened. We don't. All we know is that two high school students got into it and one of them ain't even living no more. And it ain't even have to go that way. But what I'm trying to figure out, was they saying some things? You know what I'm saying? Was Matt Cath, his brother, his twin brother, saying some things to Carmelo Anthony to make Carmelo Anthony say, put your hands on me, touch me. Was they, making some type of, saying some type of words to him that making him fear for his life at that point in time? This happened a whole year ago when, Carmelo Anthony has been home, house arrest, hasn't been getting in trouble, moved to a better place, got a diploma. Yes, he got a high school diploma. He still graduated after that whole situation. He ain't get sidetracked. He ain't get sidetracked at all, you know. I don't think that the guy meant to do that. But when you poke somebody like that, bro, that's personal. That's personal. It's personal, you know. Now, why didn't, what I'm saying, why didn't this guy, his brother didn't want Carmelo Anthony sitting there? They didn't even know each other. They didn't even go to the same school. They never even seen each other before, probably never even scrolled or saw one another pictures, on social media before. So they didn't have no type of drama beef between the three of them going on or the two of them going on, however you want to put it, because we don't know what the twin brother said. So we could say two or three of them. We could say the two or three of them. We don't know what the hell was said, fam. You know what I'm saying? I'll make sure y'all tap that like button. Talk to me in the comment section. You know. Matt Cath, bro, he didn't have no type of, you know, stick object, to harm, what I'm saying, old guy, Carmelo Anthony. He had no type of object to hurt him. So what made Anthony pull out, you know what I'm saying, a knife. Now, what I'm trying to say too, because I heard people saying that it was an object which you clean the bottom of the cleats off with. Because I was like, damn, why would a kid have a weapon at school? Because when we was in school back then, bro, we didn't have them type of things. Well, no, we didn't have them type of things in school at all. You know what I'm saying? Not inside of school. If we did have it, if they did have it inside of school back then when I was going to school, they didn't use it inside of school. They wasn't no fools. These kids nowadays, they letting anything push them to kill. Anything can push these kids nowadays to kill, to snap. And they get it from television, TV, sitting there watching it growing up, thinking that they grown, you know what I'm saying? And listening to these, like I always tell y'all, listening to these rappers, and they visualizing this shit, you know? That's what they doing. That's how they doing this shit. It's okay, I can't get my hand on this, so I'm gonna get my hand on this. Now, I remember though, I was in high school and a chick had another chick in the head with a same thing, same situation. Both well, the girl who she just did, who she in the head, she survived. You know what I'm saying? She, had to get stitched up or whatever. The other chick had then went to jail. You know what I'm saying? And caught a charge. You know, but I believe that that situation there happened for no reason. Because the chick that her emotions take over whatever the situation that they had going on. Just like with this type of shit, you know. The cameras was dark. It wasn't dark, but it was like, gray. It was rain, Uh maybe it wasn't, too good of a 4K camera. That's what I'm gonna say, because a good camera gonna see, especially if it's right there. We don't know. I don't know how far the camera was, y'all. I don't know if it was close distance or far distance, but if it was close distance on the building next to them, it should have seen what happened. It should have seen what happened. But like I say, man, old Anthony, he ain't been getting in trouble, since this whole situation been going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he finished school, he got a diploma. Now we don't know if he working right now. He ain't been on social media. But let me ask y'all something, and let me tell y'all something. That changed his life forever. He gonna always think of that. Rather he, what I'm saying, get locked up for this situation, rather he, what I'm saying, be free from this situation. He gonna always think of that in the back of his mind, you know. And Metcalf family gonna always think of that in the back of their mind. Now, Metcalf dad, you know, didn't want Metcalf dad, didn't want what's the guy name? The Anthony guy, Carmelo Anthony, to get a diploma because of what happened to his child, because his child wasn't able to get one. But maybe, you know, we don't know the situation, but we're gonna find out the situation. But if your child was sitting right there, you know what I'm saying, being mean to him, you know, threatening him, doing all that type of stuff to him, and the other brother walking up behind the other brother, or they side by side, bro. Like I say, bro, he had a right to defend himself. Now let me ask y'all something serious. If it was two white guys, because black people always do this shit to each other in the streets. If it was two white guys in that situation, bro, how would everybody look at that situation? If it was two white guys, or three, because it was three people, right? It was two white guys and a black guy. So we're gonna say it was three white guys in that situation. How y'all think the outcome would have been? You know what I'm saying? What y'all think? Let me know in the comment section. I think it would have been the same thing. I think it would have been the same thing. I think the other white guy would have the other white guy, right, would have got the ankle monitor, probation, being watched like a hawk, you know. Um, I believe he would have been going through the same thing, you know. And I also believe too, right, that if it was a white guy in this situation, the white guy would have, after the court situation, the white guy would have ended up, winning this case, you know. But if we all took if you took a self defense class before, you know that if that white dude right there didn't have a weapon in his hand, man, why the hell did Carmelo have to go and stab this dude straight up? Why he had to go and poke him like that? You know, he had no reason to do it because the dude didn't have no type of weapon in his hand. He should have fought for. He should have fought for the end of for his life. He should have fought for his life, straight up. He should have just fought like there's no tomorrow. Now it's split 50-50 because his type of people thinking that, hey, you did that on purpose. Our type of people thinking, hey, it was self defense. And I say, hey, it was self defense if he didn't have a weapon, which is, I don't think he had a weapon, but if they was both approaching him in a bulked way, you know what I'm saying? If they was both approaching this guy in a bulked way, yeah. And then he ran. Why he ran? If I was defending myself, like if you was defending yourself, like if anybody defended themselves, like if you take the self defense class, like they'll tell you, don't run from the situation if you defend yourself. That's what's making him look guilty. You know what I'm saying? That's what making him looking like, man, I did this and I hope I get away with it. Cause you could be a person that get a diploma in prison. You're just a smart person that made a dumb decision. Yeah. And that can be Anthony. He can be that person that made that's a smart person that made a dumb decision. Cause he ain't know how to move and control his. Y'all gotta learn how to control yourself. Cause if y'all don't learn how to control yourself, y'all gonna always be going through. We're gonna always see shit like this. Always. So if y'all learn how to control yourself, this type of stuff will slow down. And if y'all, when y'all go to school next year, bro, y'all can't be taking this type of stuff to school. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta learn how to, fight. You know what I'm saying? This is the summer. You know what I'm saying? Go try to sign up for some boxing classes or something. If you thinking you're gonna go to school and people and other kids gonna be being mean to you, you gotta do what you gotta do. Don't do what, you know what I'm saying, you think is smart, because that shit ain't smart. Even though it looks smart and it seem and look cool, but guess what? Bro, that shit is not cool at all, bro. That shit ain't cool at all. That shit is not cool at all. Y'all make sure y'all tap that like button. 100 likes. We need 100 likes. Let me tell you something. When Anthony go to court, at the end of this shit, at the end of this trial situation, when he go to court, let me tell y'all what they gonna give him. They gonna give him life. Why I think they gonna give him? That's what I think. They because y'all know this court thing can be tricky, 50-50. So it's real tricky. You know what I'm saying? So what I think, bro, I think old buddy gonna get he gonna get life, bro. He gonna get life. I don't know if it's gonna be with parole or without parole, but I know he gonna get life in prison, bro. He gonna do, you know what I'm saying? 25 years, that's a long time. That's still like life, bro. You know what I'm saying? Uh yeah, man. I think old buddy gonna get life because especially if they didn't have a weapon, and if they went and bucked at him, if he didn't look scared on that camera, everything is gonna go off of that camera. They don't want no, they not even gonna live stream this in court. There's no cameras, only audio. You're gonna only be able to hear. Your boy Tony Black, I'm trying to get out there. I'm trying to get out there so I can give y'all some information my way and talk to you and keep y'all updated, live. So if y'all want to donate to the channel, help your boy, get up there. Hey, if not, I'm gonna have to go off what I hear on here and drop it how I drop it, y'all. But listen, man, this is crazy. I think Buddy gonna get life, bro. I think so. It's all gonna go off of what happens on that camera, what they see, bro. If he don't look scared, bro, if he look like, bro, he was a hothead and he went because he was already a black guy, you know, twists in his head, so it looked like he want to dread up. So they already looking at him like a what? What they looking at him like? A black guy, you know what I'm saying? Dreadlocks, come on. And then for you to do something like that, they looking at him like a thug. That's what they looking at him like, bro. They looking at him like a thug, bro. They looking at him like, bro, he meant to do this, like he wanted to do this, but I don't think that was that guy attention, bro. I believe that it was two, you know what I'm saying? And it was two guys. I ain't even gonna say white guys, bro. I'm gonna say it was two guys, bro. You know what I'm saying? Didn't want him around. You know what I'm saying? That was bigger than him, and he was scared, and he didn't know what to do, and he didn't know how to fight. I don't think Carmelo Anthony know how to fight. I think that's why he ain't swing and punch one. I think that's why he did the first thing that he thought, you know, was to reach in his side of his book bag, y'all. I bet y'all tap that like button, man. Tap that like button right now. I bet y'all tap that like button right now, bro. Let me know what y'all think about this whole situation. Cause this shit here, you know, we gonna find out and we gonna talk about it as it go on. Cause y'all already know, like I told y'all, I had already spoke on this shit, bro. I spoke on this shit. And this some real stuff, you know. I don't have to always talk about that rap gang bang 'em up. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta always talk about that. You know, I'm talking about that real stuff, you know. I'm trying to save us, because like a lot of people that be going through this shit, bro, it be too late because they don't be wanting to listen and pay attention and do the right thing, but they be knowing what's the right thing, but still be doing the wrong thing. Now, if I was Carmelo Anthony, man, I would have been over there with my with my school, or with my teammates. I wouldn't have been off somewhere else over there by myself. Why was he off over there by himself? That's what they're gonna say too. They're gonna see who was there first, who got there first. Did Anthony come there first? Was Anthony? I believe Anthony was sitting there first, and they came over there and told him that he can't sit there. Hmm. But why he couldn't sit there? It's a free country, bro. We could sit and say and talk what we want to say. But don't think just because somebody touched you, he didn't punch him or nothing like that. He just touched him because he said touch me and see what happened. So he just touched him probably like that, and Carmelo Anthony, he was so soft, bro, that he had to take the coward way out, bro. And now it all depends on you know if these people gonna be fair, you know, when he go to trial. And what we see, because we ain't seen nothing. So everything, so I don't know how we gonna see some of this tape, but we gotta see the tape. The tape gotta get out some type of way. Y'all gotta get me up there. Hey, I'm out, y'all. Hey, peace.